So after last time when I put that Meanwell power supply in the Amiga case, I was like, how am I going to fix this in? And I thought, well, maybe I could do it with sticky tape. But I thought sticky tape would melt and hot glue. I actually don't have any hot glue. So I thought, why not design a PCB for it? I've never actually designed a PCB before. So I was like, maybe this is a good chance to learn on a really, really simple PCB. So I got KiCad out. I've never used KiCad before. I don't think I've even ever used a CAD program before. And I've managed to make this. So I'll show you the render of it. This is a PCB that I have measured out the original PCB that was inside the Amiga 600 power supply. And I've measured it out and created a board that's in theory exactly the same size, and it has these screw mounting holes in exactly the same place. And all it actually is, it's got these two holes in the middle that are for mounting the Meanwell power supply on there. And on the back, I've just added these traces so that I can get power from one side to the other. And I actually even reconnected the shield there, which no one ever really does. Oh, and I listed the part number. So there we go. That is world's crappiest PCB design. It's a single layer. It has no components on it other than the Meanwell, which would screw into these holes. So I looked at the data sheet for the Meanwell to find out where these holes would go. And I had to look up what kind of copper is going to be used for these traces and how thick should they be for the amount of power that might be going through them, and so on and so forth. So there was quite a bit involved, and I had to measure out all these holes as accurately as I could. And I don't know if I've got them right, but basically I've ordered 10 boards of this from PCBWay. 5 is the minimum, but I thought, screw it, it's an extra $10 for 10 more. So on the off chance that this is actually a good board, I really hope this fits in the case and can actually mount this power supply. I don't even know if I'll use these connectors. I don't know if these are going to be big enough to get the wires through, because these are only, they're going to be 1mm apart, something like that. These are 1mm holes. I don't know if they're big enough. So I could have screwed up there. This connector as well that I've picked, I just picked up some random connector that they had in the library for a footprint to use. So it's some Molex one. I don't think it's even rated to carry as much power as this power supply could put out. But yeah, in theory, you'd wire the Meanwell down at this end. You'd wire like the 5 volts into the 5 volts here. It sends it under the board, and it comes out here and it goes into the Amiga. So it's the simplest PCB you could possibly imagine. And I was quite shocked at how much time it actually took me to do this, even with all the data sheets. And I obviously don't have a data sheet for this original PCB board. So I had to just basically measure this as accurately as I could. And it's a weird shape. It's got all these weird cutouts in it. But hopefully I'm going to get a decent board out of this. And I ordered it a few days ago off PCBWay, and they are actually just about ready to ship it now. So in a few days, I'm going to get one of these, my first ever PCB, and we're going to see if I can actually mount it in. What I don't know is I put on here, the power supply case that I know it's compatible with. I don't know. I don't think this will fit in an A500 case, but it might. But either way, when it turns up, we'll see what we get.